Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Tanks. Today I've got for you a game in the Bourrasque, and I've done, well, I wouldn't say I've done any videos in the Bourrasque recently, but it is definitely a tank that has appeared on my channel more than once. For any of you who don't know what this thing is, I'm pretty sure I've done a tank review on it. I've also got the pain of when I was 3 marking the tank and everything like that. It's tier 8 premium medium French tank, and it's very good, like very good. I would say it's probably a relatively high skill cap tank to a point, and this is because it has absolutely no armor, 1250 hit points, which is very low for a medium tank. The gun handling is absolutely horrific. Like the dispersion, so like the accuracy of the tank is horrendous. And the aim time of the tank is horrendous. 2-shell autoloader, 720 damage per clip, 360 per shell, 2 seconds between shell. So it's a very nice 2-shell autoloader. But it is a relatively tricky tank to play. If you're not careful, you can get caught out in it very easily. Anyway, I will leave some links to my other Bourrasque videos down in the description. If I remember future mags, please remember. Because I'm not going to really talk about the tank and whether I recommend it or not too much in this video. So, speaking of this video, what have we got today? Well, today I am in a platoon with Tom. We are both playing our Bourrasques. It is a 3-5-7-ish. I'm not actually going to count that because some tanks have died now and my maths doesn't hold up with that quick enough, and you don't want to sit here watching me try and count to 7. But basically, it's tier 9, tier 8, tier 7 gameplay, which is a really nice matchup for the Bourrasque, to be fair. We've got no arty, we're on Malinovka, nice open map, which is where the Bourrasque is just at home. Me and Tom are playing in a platoon. We've been playing in a platoon a bit more actually recently. I probably, of my first like 20,000-30,000 games, I probably played about 3/4 of the game. The games that I played in a platoon with Tom, and then he took, like, between the two of us over the last, like, I'd say probably 4 or 5 years. He's probably taken about 3 years off the game. I've taken a year off probably overall. But he's come back a little bit recently. Don't know how long it'll last, but it's just nice to play a couple of games with him again. So like I say, we're both in our Bourrasques. He has got a slightly different setup to me, and that's something that you will have seen already in this video, and you'll be seeing throughout the rest of the video. My Bourrasque setup is heavily focused towards the gun. For any of you who haven't seen my how to play and how to set up Bourrasque video, it is I use improved aiming, I use vert stabs and vents, and I'm pretty sure I use bounty versions of all 3 of those, which means that my aim time is actually not horrific. It's still pretty bad, but it's not horrific. And my accuracy, so like how small the aim circle actually gets, is actually pretty good on my Bourrasque now. I think it starts like 0.42 or something stupid like that, and mine is now actually at 0.33, which is very respectable. Tom is more set up. I think he's got vert stabs, vents, and optics, so he hasn't quite got the accuracy on the gun. He has to aim for a lot longer and stuff like that. He also hasn't got bounty equipment, but he can actually outspot tanks. So the Bourrasque is a very nice tank to be spotting. This game also, well, I had 1 tier 7 light tank on each team at the start, but both of them have now unfortunately died. But the Bourrasque is actually a very nice, like, scouting tank. When all light tanks are dead, it's actually a pretty good tank to kind of like take over that role, and I'm actually in a little bit of trouble here. That Pantera is slapping me from the side. The AMX is deciding he wants him. He's charging towards me. The Panther M10 as well. So I'm actually in trouble. Pantera gets lucky. Tracks me with a shot. I get fortunate. Tom tracks the CDA with a shot. He puts a 1 more in, and I put my 2 in. And we manage to finish off the CDA before he can actually get a shot into either of us, which is very nice. We're basically here just going to get out of line of sight of the Pantera. If the Panther M10 wants to rush us, please do be my guest. He's on less than a 1 clip for either of us, so we can just finish him off. Up to this point in the video, I have been shooting standard APCR, which is 190 PEM, 1000 meters per second shell velocity, 360 alpha obviously, and now I've switched across to the 240mm premium APCR, which I'm now blind firing. because I only had one shell left and I don't really want to load in one shell on the standard APCR. I was blind firing there to try and see if I could finish off the Pantera. Neither one of those shells hit, because as we're about to see, in a couple of seconds, the Pantera is just about to pop up. There he is. And obviously, he didn't get there that fast, and also he's on about the same amount of HP as last time we saw him. Annoyingly, I did bounce one off the Pantera early on in the video. That second one looked like it had a pretty decent chance of hitting at the very least, probably more likely than not penning. Looking at the game situation right now, like I said, me and Tom have just kind of been controlling the field. Our team has lost the hill, but not like rapidly, and the enemy team are struggling to push into the base. Tom misses his first shell. I finish off with the second one. Again, just that accuracy difference, it really does make a huge difference on this tank. Yeah, our team has managed to hold off in the forest. Me and Tom have been patrolling the field, digging out campers, and we've actually not done too bad. I've done 3,852 damage so far. Very, very nice game, and 4 kills. If the game were to finish now, I'd be very happy with this. Tom's got 1 kill, and I can't remember exactly how much damage he's done. But we are definitely not out of the woods yet. According to the hit point bar at the top, we're 3,600 HP down, which is no bueno that. That's not fun. And we are also still a gun down. And very much at the minute, me and Tom have had to give up a little bit of the map control, because we were holding pretty much the majority of the map control for the team. But we did have to kind of give it up due to the fact that we got pushed by the Panther M10, the AMX CDA, and the Pantera could all shoot us. We felt that backing off was the right thing to do, and to try and support our team from the enemy team fully pushing into the base and then isolating the two of us. I'm down on 545 hit points. Tom is at, what's he at, 1100 still? Yeah, 1100. I'm going to try and finish off the Panther M10. I get one in, Tom gets the second in and finishes him off. Skoda T56 finishes off our ISU, so we pull a kill back. The enemy team pulls one back again. The camo rating of the Bourrasque is very nice. The ISU's view range is not, so I actually managed to outspot the ISU from, I don't actually know how far away that was, but really not far, about 300 meters without him actually spotting me. He was the only real unknown left in the game. Everything else had been spotted, so now that he's spotted, that's what also why we're playing quite passively, because I was a one-shot for the ISU, and that's not something you really want to happen. We kind of misplay here a bit. Tom kind of goes full ham. He takes one from the ISU. I miss a shell on the ISU, which is unfortunate. He puts one in. He puts two in. But we did lose across our platoon. We lost 750 HP, which now puts us at both one shot for the ISU. It puts us kind of 50-50 for one shot for the Shah and the M4. It also puts us to both to a one shot. Well, sorry, me to a two shot, but Tom to a one shot for the Skoda as well. ISU fires again. It doesn't hit Tom, and I know he's fired, so I take the time to aim and finish him off. And we just lost our MX M445. I don't know if someone else died as well. But I want to try and get into the corner as quick as possible to support the 50 TP, but unfortunately the 50 TP does die. I aim, I fire one clutch, and unfortunately don't get a connection. And this is where I just basically say to Tom, right, we just need to run away now. Open up the distance. Trying to fight at close range here is not going to do us any favours. They have the forest. We need to draw them out. Get into the forest over here. Get some range. Get into the field. Make the most of our view range / camo rating advantage that we almost definitely have over all of the remaining enemy tanks. The Shah, if he's built for view range, it could be close, but I still think with our tank's camo rating, we should almost definitely be able to outspot him. I think my view range in this thing is, I think it's somewhere between 450 and 480, which based on the fact that I go full gun build, basically, having that view range is really, really nice. And I'm still going to pretty much outspot all of the heavies the majority of the time. So you see me and Tom staying in close proximity. At this point, after Tom's taken the ISU hit, I am now the one with the HP. I can take one shell 90% of the time from every single one of the enemy tanks. If the AMX M441 is using the big gun and high rolls, or the Skoda high rolls, I can be killed in one shot. But I can definitely take a shell from the Pantera, or 2 shells from the Pantera, and I can take a shell from the Shah Future as well. Tom finishes off the Pantera. He was the one in the cap, which is very, very nice. I move up into this bush area. Obviously, if the Pantera is smart, he'll be pinging like crazy right now, saying exactly where we are. AMX M451 has no idea. And because we've relocated, we've completely changed our position. The enemy team don't know where we are exactly. I'm trying to get double bushed here. I'm trying to wiggle out an angle where I can actually fire without getting spotted. I managed to find it. We put one in. Unfortunately, Tom doesn't connect his second one. I'm going for cupola shots. Whoa. Then he fires back blind in return and actually manages to hit me, but fortunately only takes my track off. And I don't really know why I attempted that shot. And it's at about this point that it dawned on me. I don't know if any of the more observant of you would have paid attention. My ammo isn't exactly looking that healthy. We have 4 premium APCR shells left, with 4 HE shells left, and 1 standard APCR shell left. The enemy team still have 3000 HP according to the hit point bar, and I'm pretty sure, with the exception of the Skoda, everything has been spotted within our render distance since it's just been me and Tom left alive, so we know roughly what is on what. At this point, it kind of goes a little bit to shit. The Shah gets spotted. I fire again. I miss a shell, which is really bad. I get spotted for it as well. I would have been so much better off just not firing then. And this is where it really starts to go to hell. Skoda then gets spotted. I believe Tom is spotted, or he shoots the Skoda and gets spotted. And I think he takes one. I'm very busy focused on the shell on the Skoda. And again, we bounce another shell. I do feel like that was a little bit harsh. I'm not really sure where that bounced. But yeah, and now I'm now in really big trouble. I've only got 2 APCR shells left. Clearly Tom is spotted because the Skoda just put one into him. I absolutely have to connect these 2 shells. One does go in, and the second one connects. But I'm still really in trouble now. I've got 1 APCR shell left. Ideally, I want to put this into the MX-M451 because, you know, he's the more heavily armored tank. And he's a one-shot, which then means I can play with a Shah, try and get into a decent position, try and get behind him, try and get into a position where I can finish him off with HE. However, it's still not going to be easy. The HE on this tank isn't amazing. 53mm a pen, it's not bad, but it's not amazing. 440 Alpha is nice, but 53mm a pen isn't amazing. And the Shah it's not a well-armored tank, but it's actually got a little bit more armor than you think, so that a lot of the tank isn't overmatchable and isn't HEable. It is definitely not a guaranteed HE pen. We do fortunately get a nice spot at the MX-M451. Aim. Aim for that extra second than I probably usually would, just to make sure we do finish off the AMX. So now it is a 1v1, and I'm like, right, let's set up. Let's try and get into a position where I can get behind the tank. Oh, wait, no, I can't really, because there is only 1 minute 50 left on the game. Oh, Max, you have left yourself in trouble. And this is where, now I watch back through the replay, at the start of the video where I'm blind firing left, right, and center and not fully aiming shots, I'm like, Max, why did you do this? Why did you do this? But then at the time, it's like, well, blind firing, you may hit a shot. You don't realize that you're going to be left alone at the end of the game, 1 versus 3, in a situation where you've only got HE left. And again, I'm just kind of doing circles here, just because I'm quite convinced that I am actually going to outspot the Shah, obviously, unless he's sat in a bush. But if he's in a bush, that's not really an issue. I know that I can definitely take a hit from him, obviously avoiding fire and ammo rack. And he's got a 4-second inch clip, which means I can finish him off. He gets one into me. I fire an HE on the move, and again, I don't know why I did that. He misses me, and I do get a chance to fully aim a shell. Come on, fully aim it, fully aim it, fully aim it. Can we pen him? It's orange, and we don't. Only 36 damage, and at this point, it's pretty much GG. I would have to pen both shells and hope for high rolls across both. And he doesn't actually spot me here. He still hasn't spotted me. He still hasn't spotted me. He still has absolutely no idea where I am. And this is what makes me think, if I still had AP at this point, with that first shell and second shell, I would have penned the second shell. That would have actually put him down to a 1 clip. And you can actually see me here. I would have probably approached more carefully. I could have definitely put 2 into him because he's reloading at this point. So I try and move around. Aim. And unfortunately, I don't hit the shell. Shake of the head, shake of the turret. And I'm not going to try and draw the game. Like, I'm not going to do that. I just get the game over with. I probably could have at the end, once I knew I couldn't really kill him. Probably could have run away, but nah, where's the fun in that? Thought I'd go for it. Thought, you know, you never know. HE fire, HE ammo rack, something like that. And unfortunately, we lost. Should have carried harder. I ended up doing 6,266 damage, but I did fire a couple of shots blind, so we'll have to wait to see the post-game to see if I did hit anything. And 7 kills, 3 for Tom, so we nearly got a crucial contribution. If I'd have finished off that guy, would have got 1 more kill. That would have been a 2-man crucial at tier 8, which is definitely not too shabby. This was also my damage record in the Bourrasque. I've probably put that in the title because as of recording this video, I have absolutely no idea what to call it. I don't really want to call it a heartbreaker because that kind of spoils the game. Because going into it, I'd like to think that you guys thought, oh, it's going to be a nice, easy, clean sweep. He's going to win the game. So if I call it damage record, that's that little bit of twist. You're going through my my creative process right now with me on this one. But yeah, that was me in the Bourrasque with Tom as well. And what a game that was. Unfortunately, we couldn't win it at the end. But I'd like to think I did enough. Obviously, misplays here and there because otherwise I'd have won the game. A lot of blind firing, a lot of shells that didn't connect. But with the Bourrasque's gun the way it is, it's kind of sometimes... Some of it's down to RNG, some of it is just down to poor aim. But nonetheless, that thank you for watching this video, guys. We will go take a look at the post-game stats. But just before we do, standard YouTuber crap. Subscribe, like, notifications, leave a comment if you have any comments as well. Get me up on the algorithm. And on that, let's go take over a quick look at the post-game stats. So, there we go, guys. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to win that game, but we still managed to get an ace tanker, a high caliber, and also a top gun for our 7 kills. 6,656 damage, lots of 6s in there, which is very, very, very nice. As you can see by this, and I'm sure I've already put it in the video title, this was a personal damage record. This is higher than any other game I've had in the Bourrasque so far, which is not too shabby. Yeah, 6,656 damage, 2,905 for Tom. So still a good game for Tom. You've got to remember, this is tier 8. Like, 2,905 is still a bloody good game. 3 kills as well, so 10 kills between us. 1,018 base on a loss is not too bad. And yeah, unfortunately, I just couldn't quite take it down. I fired 36 shots, hit 27. I don't know why I'm doing it that way. Hit 27, pen 20. Like, a lot of those games that I missed / didn't pen were at the start. Where, you know, you don't really have any regard for your ammo because you're like, I'm not going to need all this at the end. It's not until... excuse me, guys. It's not until you actually get to the end, it's like, ah, shit, I wish I'd have saved a bit of ammo. 173,000 credits profit, which is not too bad, but we had battle payments and all kinds of funky shit on. And the game lasted, well, about 10 seconds short of the full 15. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, guys. If you have, please give the video a like, subscribe, comment, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, I should be back hopefully sometime soon. My upload schedule is a bit all over the place at the minute. Obviously, like, we're now going into summer. So work-wise, it's more difficult to do more uploads. But if you do want to catch my content consistently, then the best way to do so is head over and watch my stream, twitch.tv/msimpson54. Link will also be in the description. And that, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.